How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Around the CHL. This week we're going to be doing a trade deadline special. The week's episode is going to be centralized around last weekend's trade deadline, the good trades, the bad trades, so on and so forth, which means there's a very solid chance a couple people are going to get upset. And what better way to start off the trade deadline special than with some stupid, ridiculous stat? And no, I'm not talking about how the Winterhawks started the season 6-3 just to post 5 straight weeks with losing records. That's just your every season arrow special right there. I'm talking about how the Vancouver Giants made 69 trades this season. That's not a joke, nor is it an exaggeration. They literally averaged over 10 trades a weekend. It was literally at the point where if you were sitting there playing club with Little and you seen him go AFK, odds are his batteries weren't dying, he was shipping you out the door. I gotta say though, of those 69 trades, they did make one blockbuster trade, and that was the shipping off of one of, if not the most highly touted prospect in the CHL this season in Soto, along with shutdown right knee to the Kingston Forest X for Lady Redbush and some other guys. Honestly, probably the best trade they made all season. I don't care how good the guy was. The entire league knew he could only play Sunday and Wednesdays at 10:30, meaning come playoffs, you weren't line matching. Your opponent knew you were playing your first line both Sundays because they don't have 10:30 games come playoffs. You had to play both Sundays. Any smart owner would go out there and throw their third line against your top line both those games Sundays, and then you have the advantage going through Monday and Tuesday going into Game 7 also on a Wednesday. Very smart move on Vancouver's part, and to get something solid in return. North Bay sent Tibbs, What Spawns, and Igneous X88 to the Sherbrooke Phoenix for Feldy Pack. This trade just looks like a trade from top to bottom. Sorry, boys. Tibbs is a solid player. He's just sent down from the AHL. Igneous looks like a solid player as well. If you needed any further validation, Blaine put them on a line together this week. They knocked off the top team in the queue, and they knocked off another top 5 team in the queue as well. What Spawns now, maybe you can consider him a third-line defenseman. Might not be the most glamorous part of this trade, but I'm sorry to say it. It's been a little over a season since I played with him, but Feldy Pack isn't anywhere close to worth anything in that trade. Prove me wrong, pal. Prove me wrong. You got a week and then you got playoffs. Let's see what you got. As of right now, you just helped improve one of the most prolific offenses in the league as far as I'm concerned. We've seen Portland send Lateralis to the Jakar for Nadia Uncle Ted. This trade continues to baffle me. I want to say Jakar messed up trading Nadia Uncle Ted, but then you just want to look and see they had an 8-1 week last week. Granted, Lateralis didn't play, and I feel like they could have just got more. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like they could have got more out of Naughty Uncle Ted if they wanted to ship him away. Giants traded Crux 30, the Generals for Notes 420. It pays to have good friends in the league. All I'm going to say on that one. We're going to go back a week on this one right here, though, because I think this is a very important trade worth noting. The Guelph Storm traded Repel X88, Skids in My Pants Stew, Droppy Gala, and Magic School Bus to the Chicoutimi Saganines for L. Daly and Vinny. Such an overlooked trade in my opinion. L. Daly and the boys, as I like to call him, put Nutty Grandpa on the map for the first time in his LG career last season in playoffs. L. Daly and the boys single-handedly carried Guelph to the conference finals last season. And if history repeats itself and L. Daly minus the boys do what I think they can, Guelph could turn some heads once again this postseason. Then how about the Brandon Wheat Kings and their 12 trades over the weekend? What a roller coaster. Trying to figure out if they was selling, if they was buying, but I want to say Jet was trying to improve this team. But then he made a rookie mistake in trading for Hudon, trading for Norman Roberts, and Coach Reebok. Like, come on, man. You've been around this league long enough. You know Coach Reebok and his boys are going to snake or cancel their way off any non-very likely cup contender team out there. And that's exactly what happened. Rookie mistake from a veteran noted. Then we seen him make a trade with the Bulldogs, sending away their highest paid centerman in Gamer Gary, and some people might have looked at this as a wave of the white flag because of it. But I looked at it as the Wheaties trading away a player who hasn't won a playoff game in about 8 years. So say what you may about this long list of trades they made this weekend, but the underlying plan that people didn't realize happening in the biggest quote-unquote trade of them all was Jet and Repo moving back to defense. Probably the best move they made all weekend. They traded away 2 TC forwards, and they picked up 2 first or second line caliber defensemen. The Wheaties are going to make some noise come playoffs. And then how about we cap this off with the biggest trade deadline winner and the biggest trade deadline loser of the weekend. We're going to start with the biggest loser, and that's the Gatineau Olympics. I felt like these guys need to make some improvements over the weekend, to be honest. They started the first half of the season on fire. Over the last 2 weeks, they're 8-10. I know they've had a lot of guys called up, but what do you expect? You can't depend on draft picks to win you games, and when you bid on amateurs and you get them cheap, especially defensemen, you better expect them to be called up if they're any good. You got to be prepared for stuff like that. You got to make moves. As of right now, it looks like they came unprepared. They could be in for a very rude awakening here in the next couple weeks. We'll see how she turns out. The winner has to be the Vancouver Giants. I hate to keep pounding the same drum, but apparently I have to because people just don't get it. Remember how I said Reebok, Norman, and the boys would snake their way to a cup contender? Oh, look, here they are in Vancouver. The favorite to win a WHL just became even more loaded. And they now arguably have the best top-to-bottom offense in the league. They got a third line that would be most teams' first lines. Good luck. Your best chance against these guys is to hopefully find some cracks in that defense because as of right now, the goaltending, the forwards, after last weekend, there isn't any. Good on Vancouver, though. I'm seriously very impressed. 69 trades, and it somehow managed to all work out to put them in a position they are right now because these guys were a one-line team going into this season. It was pretty known. People were saying, you bid all this money on CM and Soto. That's all you got. This team's looking pretty loaded. We'll see what they can do come playoffs. As for this week's episode, though, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.